Good day everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Katie M. Damian, your reporter in cognitive development of the preschoolers. According to Robert Oppenheimer, there are children playing in the street who could solve some of my top problems in physics because they have modes of sensory perception that I lost long ago. So what's modes of sensory perception? There are 5 traditional senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. As you grow older, you will lose them one by one. Preschooler symbolic and intuitive thinking. All the behaviors and the remarks about except items 4 and 7 are true of preschool children. They are considered immature aspects or limitations of preschool children's pre-operational thought according to Piaget. There are 2 substages of Piaget's pre-operational thought, namely symbolic substage and intuitive substage. In the symbolic stage, preschool children show progress in their cognitive abilities by being able to draw objects that are not present by their dramatic increase in their language and make-believe play. In the intuitive substage, preschool children begin to use primitive reasoning and ask a litany of questions. The development in their language ability facilitates their endless asking of questions. While preschool children exhibit considerable cognitive development, their improved cognitive process still shows some aspects of immaturity or limitations. So, symbolic language, in this stage, they can draw objects that is not around but it's in their imagination. They can also change their tone when they are playing. In intuitive substage, in this stage, kids ask more questions because it's a part of cognitive development or progress. About immaturity or limitations. Immaturity is about their actions, how they speak as a preschoolers. Limitation, of course, as a kid, all your knowledge has a limitation. Items 1. Someone switched on the thunder. And 3. That tree pushed a leaf off and it fell down. For example, indicate limitation on preschool children's symbolic thought process. The remarks indicate that preschool children believe that inanimate objects have lifelike qualities and are capable of action. This is referred to as animism, Soundtrack 2002. Preschool children who use animism fail to distinguish the appropriate occasions for using human and non-human perspectives. However, the fact that they attribute the falling of the leaf and the thunder to a cause proves that preschool children realize that events have causes. So for items 1 and 3, this is a symbolic stage called indicate limitation. Children know that everything happened has a causes, but the reason are not right. They also believe that objects have a life in this stage. Item 2. Child silently nods on the telephone as to answer his father who is on the other side of phone inquiring if mom is around. Is another limitation in preschool children's symbolic thought. Piaget calls this egocentrism, the inability to distinguish between one's own perspective and someone else's perspective. In item 2, this is another example for limitation in symbolic substage in preschoolers. While they answer an call, they think that the caller can also see them. Item 4 should apply to preschool children had the child answered no when asked if the amount of liquid in the tall, thin beaker was equal to that which remained in the original beakers. Preschool children are quite limited in their intuitive thought process. The amount of liquid that was transferred to the third beaker, which was taller but thinner than the original beaker, remains unchanged. However, preschool children are beaker to only to the height of the liquid when seen in the thinner and taller beaker and fail to consider the width of the beaker. This is a clear evidence of centration, one limitation of our preschool child's preparational thought, which is the focusing or centering of one's attention on one characteristic to the exclusion of others, Soundtrack 2002. In this case, the focus is only on the height of the beaker to the exclusion of the width of the beaker, which is clearly another factor that should be taken into consideration. This is also referred to as undimensional thought. This is also the evidence of preschool children's lack of conservation, the awareness that the basic property of an object or a substance is conserved, is not changed or altered, even if its appearance is changed. For item number 4, in this stage, intuitive thinking, there are lack of awareness that even the appearance change, the amount is still the same.